everyone, it's me again, and I am back with another weekly reading vlog. This one's kind of weird just because I kind of ended my last week's right here doing this. We're confused, honestly, but I'm still reeling right now. I talked about it at the end of my last week's vlog, so you probably already know, but I just reached 30,000 subscribers, which is insanity. Well, okay, I think I reached it yesterday, but I didn't see it until today, and I'm just still reeling. I'm still just shaking. Thank you, everybody. I talk about it way more in the last week's. I don't want to keep reiterating it. I don't want to be annoying. I know that this probably is annoying. You're like, okay, Brittany, we freaking get it, but like, wow, I'm freaking excited. This is so cool. Okay, I need to stop talking about it because you literally are gonna be so annoyed with me, and then everyone's gonna unsubscribe, and then this was all gonna be pointless because I'll have like 2 subscribers left, my mom and my dad. It's a new week. Hopefully this week goes a little better than last week. I know that last week I just kind of kept like flaking during the vlogging, and it's just been hard for me to like keep up with a week-long vlog. I just don't remember how much footage I need for it anymore. I have pretty high hopes. I'm still reading A Court of Mist and Fury. I'm still listening to Flamecaster on audio, but I'm pretty close to the end of this one at this point. And I still really want to finish The Poppy War. So those are going to be my main focus for this week. Everything that isn't filled out, I still have to finish. I guess I don't have to, but I'd really like to. I want to focus on kind of getting a little bit more situated. I feel like I've been still so up in the air ever since BookCon. There'll be days where I do everything, where like I bookstagram and I film and I edit and everything, and then there's like days where I just completely forget to do any of that. So I just kind of want to focus on reorganizing my life. That's kind of it for right now. That's all I want to talk about. I don't know, vlogging's so weird, guys. Okay, goodbye. Hey everyone, happy Tuesday. I have the day off, but right now I'm actually about to go and run some errands. I finished a book last night, but it was at midnight, so it technically counts for today, and that is Flamecaster by Cinda Chima. I'm gonna give it 4 stars, I think. It was just like a very solid book. I really didn't have many issues with it. Sometimes the pacing felt a little off though. It just didn't feel like a 5-star, but since I really couldn't find anything wrong with it, I just gave it a 4. And I've been listening to Clash of Kings on audio. I have 28 hours and 54 minutes left, so I'm pretty sure that means that I'm like 8 hours in. I don't know though. I think it's a 36-hour long audiobook. I am enjoying it, but I'm not like, I don't know, I'm not in the mood to listen to it right now, because while I'm listening to the Clash of Kings audiobook, I actually do take notes on my phone because I want to go back into the book and highlight these passages. So it's way more of an intensive read, and I can't just do it while I'm driving and things like that. I think I'm gonna check to see if either They Both Die at the End or Carry On are on Libby. Hello, T'Challa, please don't knock down the camera. But I am planning on going to see a movie with my dad. I know, this is like the 3rd movie in less than a week. There's just so many good movies out right now, so we're catching up. We've seen Aladdin and we saw Rocketman, and today I think we're gonna see Godzilla. Yeah, so we're gonna go see that, and hopefully I end up liking it more than I think I will. I feel like I will. I think I only have about 100, maybe less pages to A Court of Mist and Fury. After I put that down, I really am going to focus on reading any of the books on my TBR right now, any of them. I just wanted to do a little update. I ended up going to go see Godzilla with my dad. And I don't know, if you asked him, he probably thought that I hated it, but I had a good time. I just have never seen any of the other Godzillas, and I didn't realize. I thought this was a remake of like the first Godzilla, and it's not. It's obviously a continuation. But yeah, no, I had a really good time. Honestly, I've had like this knot in my back all day, and it's been killing me. I'm about to like just jam a doorknob into it to try to like massage it out. I don't know, I'm in a weird mood. I wanted to talk to you guys kind of, this is gonna sound ridiculous, but it's like everything in my life is going pretty well right now, and I keep getting all these amazing opportunities, and it's just overwhelming for me because I'm always worried that I'm going to fail. I don't really even know if fail is the right word. It's more like I'm just worried that I won't be good with my time and then I'll fail. Okay, it is the right word. We'll see. So I did actually want to mention, I totally forgot. I forgot to mention last week that Witchathon had started. It's the Letha Witchathon, and it was running from June 14th through June 21st this week. And I did decide that I really wanted to participate. I had been wanting to do it from the beginning. I just totally had blanked on it. We'll see though what I end up picking up, because a lot of these seem to be kind of more contemporary themed, and I obviously just don't have any contemporaries really on my TBR that would fit any of these. So I did make a spread though, and I wanted to show you because I think it turned out so cute. Let's not talk about how I spelled witch wrong. I don't know what was going through my head when that happened. See, I spelled it right with the cursive, but behind it, it's W-I-T-H-C. Who am I? Who knows? I definitely want to try and participate, even though it's going to be over soon. So we'll just see how much I end up getting done. If not, it's totally cool. I'm doing this very casually, but I love supporting Rhiannon because Witchathon's always so cool. This is a very random update, so I'm going to get going.
Colors on the cover. The eyeshadow palette that I brought, this is the only one I brought. Tartlet Roasted, so it's a tart palette. Did you say roasted? Oh, toasted. Sorry, toasted. Oh.
I'm just checking in to say that A Court of Mist and Fury is ruining me just as much as the first time ever that I read it. Like, sometimes you think that a book's not gonna be as good as the first time you read it, and then you're like, little me didn't know what was happening. She just had a good time with the book because it was the first thing she read, and you know, I'm rereading it now. I'm so trash for Sarah J Maas. Like, she did this. She created this baby, and I love it. Alright, that's it. That's all I wanted to say. I thought you all should know that I'm not always cold-hearted when it comes to books. Sometimes I do actually tear up. Crazy, I know. Hairspray got all weird. Just saying hello because I just got out of my other job and I just got home and I changed because I have to go to my other job. Yeah, my other job is still going for the most part. It's just like way less often, and that's why like I never look pretty anymore. I've been listening to Prodigy on audio, which is super, super random. I don't know how I feel about it. Maybe more thoughts on it later, but I'm about halfway through now. Honestly, I think a big part of me not knowing how I feel about it is I'd almost completely forgotten everything that happens in Legend, and I didn't want to reread it to go onto Prodigy. And for the most part, I remembered everything, but it's just kind of like, that's meh. Oh my god, my hair looks really gross. Okay, I need to go. Peace out, Girl Scout.
Hey everyone, happy Friday. So I'm on my way to work right now, but I just didn't have any time to actually vlog earlier today, which is so annoying. I started getting ready and I just didn't realize what time it was because I wanted to film the clip for my New York vlog that I wanted to get up by tomorrow. Just kind of talking about my BookCon feelings and all that sort of stuff. And by the time I was finished getting ready, I looked at the time and I was like, oh, I have to go to work. I finished A Court of Mist and Fury yesterday, which was incredible. Obviously, I gave it 5 out of 5 stars. A Court of Mist and Fury just holds my soul. I've been thinking about it, and the reason that I love A Court of Mist and Fury is the same reason that I love Heir of Fire so much by Sarah J Maas. They're both books in the series where our main character is in their darkest point. They're both books where the main character is going through something so dark, where they're just in a very low point and they have to find themselves again and realize that they're worth something again. And it's just so beautiful. I think I'm actually going to read A Court of Wings and Ruin. I know I said originally that I wasn't going to. Yeah, I know I said I wasn't going to, but now I'm really curious. I just have never reread A Court of Wings and Ruin, so we'll see how that goes, but I'm not doing it this month, not yet. As far as audio goes, I finally picked up Prodigy a couple of days ago, which was such a random choice for me. So reading Prodigy or listening to Prodigy was a very weird experience because I'd forgotten most everything, but I remembered it as it went on. I just felt like detached from the story for the most part. It was definitely just a listening to it to have something to listen to. I like to always have an audiobook going, so I was just listening to it just because for the longest time, and I just was kind of like, I had no real feelings about it. It wasn't bad, it just wasn't great either, but it's because I just had no attachment to the characters until the very end of the book, and I was like, oh, okay, I care about you guys. So I finished that earlier today. I think I'm gonna give it a 3-star though, because even though it was good, it just, I don't feel anything great about it. It was just like, oh, okay, cool, good. This update has been a mess, I feel like, but I'll definitely talk to you guys after work today.
I don't know if you guys can tell how many stars are out right now. Like, there's the Big Dipper. This is so nice. It's so lovely. And there's the Luxor ruining everything. Hello, my lovelies. It is Saturday. I am all ready for my day, but it is almost time for me to go to work. again. Tomorrow's kind of like a very chill day though, so I'm hoping tomorrow's the day that I get a lot of reading done. I haven't picked up a new audiobook yet, but I did download a couple of new ones from Libby. I downloaded Champion by Marie Lu and A Reaper at the Gates by Sabatier. I don't know if you guys knew, but I did not really like the sequel to An Ember in the Ashes. What was it, A Torch Against the Night? I didn't like it. I really forced my way through it. I felt like it was just very stilted. I just didn't enjoy it. But I think that I'm gonna give the audiobook a shot for A Reaper at the Gates. I didn't want to originally because I was like, oh, I want to physically read these. I want to like annotate maybe. But the thing is I think I like the audiobooks better than I do the physical books. So we'll see with A Reaper at the Gates. I haven't decided which one I want to start yet because Champion, obviously, I just read Legend, so at least like I'd be going back to back, but I don't know if I'm ready for that, so I might just do A Reaper at the Gates. Oh my gosh, I just remembered I put in a clip last night of just the stars because it was so lovely. I walked outside because I was going to my boyfriend's house after work and everything was just, it was such a clear night sky and it was beautiful. I could see so many stars, which is so rare here. I mean, I know if any of you guys live in the city, then you know how hard it is to see the stars with light pollution, and then like with clouds, it's never a clear enough sky to see that many stars. So I don't know if the footage turned out good, but I was so excited. So I don't know, there's something about the night sky that just makes me extremely happy. Just seeing tons of stars in the sky makes me so happy. Besides that, I still haven't picked anything up physically. I think that what I'm gonna end up doing is making next week like my reading all the books that I was supposed to be reading this month vlog, so we'll see how that goes. I've just been in such a fantasy mood, it's been hard for me to go over to the contemporary books that I had planned on reading. Thank you, Chala. He wants to snuggle. And then we have Luna. Yes, guys, don't judge me. I still just haven't put away my suitcase after BookCon, and she loves laying in that little area. So I just kind of leave it open for her. All right, well, that's kind of it. Yeah. Yay.
Thank you. Have a good one.
Thank you. Hi everyone, it's Sunday. So I actually did get something pretty cool in the mail, and she like calligraphied the name on. And I'm actually so excited about this. I did the order sometime last week, and it actually came in the mail super fast. So let's get out the goodies. I got some pins and I'm really excited about it. They are from Philfira Moon Designs. That's what that looks like. This is so cute. It's so aesthetically pleasing. So let's open up the first one. I'm really excited. I think every single pin I got was seconds pins. I tend to get seconds pins. The first ones that I got is this one. It is the Last Namsara pin set, and it's so freaking cute. There we go. And it just says Iskari and Namsara. I'm so excited. You guys know that last year, The Last Namsara was one of my favorite books of the year. It was just so wonderful, and there was dragons, but it was dark, and the plot twist was fantastic. I'm really excited to have some pins in my set that relate to it because I feel like there isn't a lot of merch for The Last Namsara, so glad I got it. And then I got this one from the Illuminae files, and it says, "Am I not merciful?" which is obviously what Aiden, the artificial intelligence system, says in Illuminae. It's one of the most quotable lines. I can't even tell that these are seconds pins, if I'm gonna be quite honest. Like, they just look like normal pins. She actually gave a little sticker, and it says, "And like roses in his hands, death blooms." Now let's open up the other little one. Oh my gosh, I'm so excited. Okay, so, oh my gosh, so there was another little sticker in this one, and how freaking fitting. It says Bibliophile. That is perfect. I am literally obsessed with this. The next pin that was in here is a Shadow and Bone pin, which used to be one of my favorite series, so I feel like I really need to support it more, and I really want to do a reread of it sometime soon. So I got these cute little pins. It just says Sun Summoner and Shadow Summoner, and they're so freaking cool. I'm telling you guys, I feel like this is the reason that I get seconds pins so often, is I can almost never tell the defect that is supposed to be happening in these pins. Pin makers, you are way too hard on yourselves, because you look at something and you're like, oh my god, that is not perfect, and then you just put it on sale and I'm like, hello, it's basically perfect. And then this other one that I got is one I'm so excited about. I rarely ever talk about this. When I was young, I used to watch Kiki's Delivery Service on repeat. Well, that movie and Lilo and Stitch and Little Mermaid. Little Mermaid's up there. Oh, and Mulan. I used to watch those 4 movies basically on repeat as a child. And I saw this adorable little Gigi pin, and it's very fitting just because I have a little black cat now, and I like to pretend that I'm like Kiki and I have my little talking black cat that's, you know, more of a nuisance than anything else. But I got this pin and I love it so much. It's so freaking cute. Like, look how adorable he is. He's so excited. He's so adorable, and look at those little bangs. I love him. So those are the 4 pins that I got from her website, and they're literally so stunning. They're so freaking, like, just aesthetically pleasing. Definitely check it out. I will try and link it down below if I remember. And I'm really excited that it came with these little stickers. That's adorable. Now that the fun and exciting part of this little clip is done, I did kind of want to talk. I just watched Boston Reads Books video on not feeling good enough for BookTube, and it's just like a sort of discussion video, and it was so interesting. You should definitely check it out. I will, again, try and link it down below. I'm very forgetful about these things. But I was watching it and I just felt the need to kind of talk about that similar feeling myself, like on this vlog. It's gonna be all over the place. I really haven't planned this through. I literally just watched the video and I was like, I want to talk about that. Like, I want to, because it's something that I feel as well. She was just mentioning just her thoughts and feelings on it, and watching her friends grow so rapidly, or watching people she admires grow rapidly and things like that. I relate, like, I completely relate. And I think that the reason I see it as weird is because obviously I have made more subscribers than people normally do on BookTube in a shorter amount of time. I have reached 30,000 subscribers in a little over a year, and it's incredible. I know it is. In the back of my head, I know that this is a feat that most people don't reach. It's an incredible thing. It's something that I never expected for myself, and it's weird that because of all that, I still feel not good enough for BookTube. And I wanted to talk about it on here with you guys, just because I know that you guys tend to see this very bubbly, perfect, optimistic side of myself, and that's for a reason. I mean, let's be honest, you guys are seeing the best side of me. You are seeing the best that I have to offer, and it's because I'm talking about something I love so much. I love books so much, and so I'm always going to be excited, and I'm always gonna seem bubblier and optimistic, and that's just not the whole story, you know? And I feel like it's so important to touch on that as someone that now has a larger amount of subscribers, because I think that I don't ever want someone to look at me. I'm not saying that this is what Boston was saying in her video, by the way, guys. This is just like a reflection that I'm having on my own. But I don't ever want someone to look at my account and just be like, wow, she must be so excited and so happy. I don't want people to think that, because that's one side. I'm gonna be quite honest right now. My boyfriend honestly thinks I'm a pessimist. He thinks I'm a pessimist. I see myself as a realist, and I'm sure if anyone else out there sees themselves as a realist, you know that most people in our lives see us as pessimists. But it's because I'm just a very realistic person. I have very realistic goals. I have very realistic expectations, I think, of the world, but they do tend to border on negative. And so you guys seeing this very optimistic side of me, that's because I love books. I'm optimistic that I'm always going to love books. That is the one part of my life that is going to be bubbly and excited and happy for the rest of my life. But that is just not how I always am. And I think it's important to talk about, because I know that that's what I put out into the world. I know that that's what I put out onto BookTube, and I want you to know that that's not always the case. And I am my own worst critic. Absolute worst critic. I love being a critic of myself. And that comes into play a lot with BookTube. I don't necessarily feel that I'm good enough to be on BookTube, which is so weird. But for me, it comes from like an inner part of my brain that just spews negativity. and tries to make me feel as insecure as possible about everything that I do. So instead of feeling excited about this accomplishment that I've had, I tend to dwell on the negative and be like, well, I know you've accomplished this, but it's probably not for the right reasons anyways. Thoughts like that. Thoughts where I'm sitting here being like, people don't subscribe to me for what I have to say. People don't subscribe to me for my thoughts on books. People don't subscribe to me for how I review books. Like, those are thoughts that go through my head, and the counter thing is like, people obviously do subscribe, so why? And in my head it goes, well, they're only subscribing because your makeup looks nice, or your hair looks nice, or you're being conventionally pretty. Things like that is what my brain tells me. My brain automatically is like, that's why people are subscribed to you, don't worry, they don't even care what you have to say. And that sucks, because BookTube especially is a place where you want to feel heard for what you have to say about books, for your opinions on books. That is the most important part about BookTube, is reviewing books and having new opinions about books. And it sucks that my brain is telling me that that's not why people are subscribed to me, because that's what I want people to subscribe to me for. And this isn't a call for me to be like, guys, please reaffirm, make me feel better about myself. Please don't. It'll actually make me pretty uncomfortable. I am pretty sure that you guys are subscribing for the right reasons, but my brain still wants to tell me it's not that. It is a constant battle. I am aware that these are probably crazy thoughts, but the realistic part of me has to see both sides. It has to see that if there's people subscribing to me for my reviewing skills, there are also people that are subscribed to me not my reviewing skills and are only subscribed for what I look like. But that is the area where I struggle the most in, because for me, not feeling good enough for BookTube doesn't really have anything to do with the amount of subscribers I get. It has everything to do with how I talk about books. And I always am going to feel like there are people that are doing it better, that people respect for their opinions on books, and I feel like that's not me. Again, don't go in the comments and reaffirm me. It's actually gonna make me extremely uncomfortable, because I'm just telling you how I feel right now, and I don't really want any feedback on it. But at the end of the day, I just wanted you guys to know that I may seem like I have it all together. I may seem that my BookTube channel is all great and dandy, and that I'm doing great and dandy, and that everything in my life is perfect and dandy, and that is not always the case. I'm gonna always be happy talking about books. That doesn't mean that everything else doesn't make me feel insecure as hell. Like, absolutely insecure. And it is something that I'm trying to get over, because I think that everyone should be absolutely confident in their lives. I think everyone deserves to feel confident about the things that they do and the way that they present themselves, and I hope that everyone gets there one day. But after seeing like Boston's video, I just wanted to say I feel the same way as her. What I'm trying to say is that I'm trying to get over it, actually. I want to not be insecure. I want to realistically tell myself, like, even if people are subscribing just because I'm pretty, then whatever, because there are definitely people out there that are subscribing because of what I have to say about books, and that is where I should be looking. I should be as optimistic as I seem on video. I want to be as optimistic as I seem on video, because I want to be optimistic about my life. Everyone should want to be optimistic about their lives. And instead, I have this like realistic bitch inside of me that's like, that's not the case. If you guys want me to talk more about this, if you guys have any questions or things like that, leave them down below. I don't want to make an entire video about this because it gives me anxiety. It's not that I don't want to talk about this, I just get uncomfortable talking about this kind of stuff. I'm just figuring it out, guys. And I am trying to not be so insecure. I am trying to look at my accomplishments and be like, I did that. I should be proud of that. And instead I compare myself with others, and that is not the way to live your life. Don't live your life comparing yourself to others. Live your life being proud of everything you do, because you're gonna be so much happier. Just a fact. Okay, I'm gonna stop talking because I know I've just started rambling. I'm really not sure if any of what I said made sense. Like, I really just wanted to say that I'm not as confident in BookTube as I may seem, and that I'm still struggling every single day with BookTube and feeling I'm not creative enough, not smart enough, not good enough to be on here, and that it's normal. Like, that's a normal thing to feel, and it doesn't just go away when you have 30,000 subscribers. Like, I definitely thought it would. I for sure did. When I was at like 5,000 subscribers, I was like, one day I'm gonna have more and then I'm gonna feel confident. And I'm at more and I still don't. So I don't know, guys. little, oh, I did want to tell you guys, whoa, I almost forgot to talk about it, but I did end up deciding on listening to A Reaper at the Gates. I am like 10 minutes into it, honestly. Yeah, I'm 2% of the way through. So I did decide on that. I just, you know, forgot to tell you because I was so busy talking about myself. LOL, my bad. Okay, I'm gonna fill out my habit tracker and... Alright, so it is time for my little wrap up of the week. I still have to edit this whole vlog, so I don't know what it's gonna look like, especially last night's ramble. I do want to say right before we get into that wrap up that after everything that I talked about last night, I forgot to kind of mention that I'm still really grateful for everything that I have. So don't take it the wrong way. It was just me, you know, talking to you guys, to my friends, getting stuff off my chest. So let's do this wrap up. I managed to finish 3 books this week, which is really freaking cool. I finished Flamecaster by Cinda Chima first. I gave this 4 stars. I actually really enjoyed the story. I think that the pacing is so much better than the Demon King was. The Demon King story was so well done, but it was a pretty slow story. While this one I feel like it's already going so much faster and it's so interesting, and I'm really enjoying the romance that's budding because Demon King is slow burn, guys, and I'm talking slow burn. Like, they don't even know each other in the first book and you already know that that's probably gonna be like the thing. And this one, it's already there. It's there. It's giving you so many juicy details. One thing that I actually didn't know going into Flamecaster is that there are dragons in this one, which is super cool. I haven't seen yet how it's going to affect the story or what's really gonna happen, but there are dragons. Oh, and I finished that on audio. After that, I finished A Court of Mist and Fury by Sarah J. Maas. No surprise, I give it 5 stars. Honestly, it deserves the entire 5-star. Out of all the books that Sarah J. Maas has written, this is still my all-time favorite. It's just so well done. I love watching Farah just find herself and go from being this very downtrodden and depressed and hurt person. She is so miserable and she's having such a hard time after the events of A Court of Thorns and Roses, and you just see it so clearly in her mind and the way that she thinks and her lack of motivation, her lack of everything. She is an artist who no longer wants to paint, and that's really the best way to describe how she's feeling in this. And you see her really come into herself. Like, it's you go from that to, there's a line in here that says, "No one was my master, but I might be master of everything if I wished, if I dared." And I love that line so much. It's just so beautiful, and it's really nice to see just this other side of all these characters that we got to see in A Court of Thorns and Roses. Like, the story changes so much in this one, so it has a very special place in my heart. I know that Sarah J. Maas isn't for everybody, but she's definitely for me. And then I picked up Prodigy by Marie Lu on audio. I read Legend years ago. While I was still in high school, I read Legend, or maybe right after high school, but either way, I read it and never picked up Prodigy. I was definitely intrigued. It was just something that I didn't want to read at the time, and now that I've discovered audiobooks, it's definitely been something that's been on my radar, that I thought that maybe if I pick it up on audio, I might finally finish the series. I don't remember much of Legend, which is kind of sad going into Prodigy, because normally I start to remember things as the story progresses, but it took me a while in this one to actually remember the story during Legend. It definitely affected the way that I connected to the characters. It didn't affect the way that I processed the story in the end, just because I did actually remember most of Legend by the end of this. I did really enjoy it. I think that it's kind of a fun dystopian novel, but a big reason why I even picked these back up was because someone told me that it's one of the events that happens in this trilogy that inspired Warcross. So I think the audiobooks are pretty good. For this one, they do have 2 narrators, one for June and one for Day. Day's narrator talks really slow. Even on 2x speed, you can hear the pauses in his voice, which was very odd, but it wasn't bad, and I think that it's pretty cool. The one thing that I did notice with this is there's a speech towards the end that Day makes, and it really gave me that feeling of Day shouldn't be a teenager, you know? There's a lot of talk about that, how a lot of young adult characters have the minds of someone older, like in their mid-20s maybe. Just their thinking is much more adult and mature, and yes, it can be argued that because they are in a dystopian world, that's what made them more mature, but at the same time, it just doesn't feel exactly like that. Like the words used, the way that he says it, the confidence in which he says it, it just didn't feel teenager, you know? But that's really my only complaint. It was a very solid book though, and that's why I gave it 3 stars. I I didn't feel much of anything until the end, like to the characters. That's when I finally started to be like, oh, I love you, kind of. I made some progress on Poppy War by R.F. Kong. I picked it up last night and I just read all the way until I went to sleep, and now I'm on page 323. I am enjoying this book so much. It's so fascinating. There's so many philosophical discussions happening the entire time. A key part of the story is shamanism and just kind of exploring what shamanism really means and taking this almost mythological religion and giving it some background, giving it an explanation as to why they took psychedelics or how they communed with the gods and things like that. It's so interesting. It's so interesting. There's so much thought put into this book. So I'm having a really good time. I hope to finish it next week. And lastly, I picked up A Reaper at the Gates by Sabati here on audio. I'm pretty much enjoying this. So last night I left off on page 37 and I'm really glad I picked it up on audio. I listened to An Ember in the Ashes on audio and really enjoyed it. I think I gave it like 4 stars, but I enjoyed it. It was definitely good and I really enjoyed the narrators, but I told myself that I wanted to read A Torch Against the Night because I just felt like I was gonna absorb it better, and I remember just forcing my way through that book. Something about maybe the writing style is just not for me. Listening to it is 100% the way that I need to ingest this story because I'm already just so involved again. And what I did find is that since I listened to An Ember in the Ashes, I remember An Ember in the Ashes so well, but I'm coming to realize that I don't remember A Torch Against the Night that well, which is so weird because I always absorb books better when I read them rather than listen to them. Like it's not a big difference, but I definitely do. And A Torch Against the Night, I just don't have a lot of memories of. I think that I really forced my way through that book and it did nothing for my reading experience. I guess I definitely have to listen to these on audio because I remember the other story so much better and I'm already just catching on so much better to the story in the audio form. Okay, I actually forgot to mention that I made some progress on Clash of Kings as well. I'm on page 170 now. I forgot because it was under my tripod. That's really all I have to say. I'm really enjoying it, but this is gonna be some slow progress. So that's a pretty good progress report. Honestly, I'm so excited for next week's, or this week's technically, vlog. So stay tuned for that because I have a lot of cool plans. So thank you guys so much for watching and I will see you in my next one. Goodbye!